A homicide investigation after a 16-year-old boy is found dead in Abbeydale.
It's troubling.
Police need your help to track the teen's final hours. Plus, terrified by the advances of her Uber driver.
And you can come up to the passenger seat and hang out with me. And I was like, you know, I'm okay, thanks. He's like, but you're so pretty.
He's now banned from the platform, but do you know how to protect yourself in a rideshare? And kicking off the long weekend.
Yeah, it's fantastic weather here today.
From floating the bow to filling your face, there's plenty to keep you busy.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. We begin with a homicide investigation in Abbeydale. The victim is a 16-year-old boy. So far, no arrests have been made, and Calgary police are asking for help piecing together what happened leading up to the teen's death. Jacqueline Wilson reports.
Police say 16-year-old Carter Spivak Villeneuve is the victim of a homicide. His friends, who felt compelled to visit where the teen was found dead, can't believe he's gone. They didn't want to speak on camera, but say they were with him just hours before his death. Around 1:20 a.m. Friday, officers were called to Abbeydale Drive Northeast for reports of a person in medical distress. That's where they found Carter's body.
It's troubling. This is a kid that should be getting his driver's license, learning to drive. And instead, we're investigating his death. So it's troubling and it's saddening.
Police had K-9 out searching for clues. Investigators are asking those in the area to check their property for anything suspicious and to share any dash cam or surveillance footage with police. Specifically, they're looking for video from midnight to 1:30 a.m.
We're here for Carter. And so we really are truly asking for people to essentially help us timeline him. What was he into? Who was he talking to? Things like that. So that's what we're looking for the communities to help us figure out and bring some closure to Carter's family.
The death has left neighbors in shock, waking up to a crime scene Friday morning.
I find it kind of scary because it's so close to home. I live around the corner, so seeing this is very creepy because I always go out alone too, so it's definitely scary. The teen's friends are inconsolable. They describe Carter as just the nicest guy.
And Jackie joins us from Abbeydale Drive tonight. Jackie, we know no arrests have been made, but do we know if there are even any suspects?
No, Tara, so police have not publicly released if they have a suspect or suspects in custody right now. And so that's why they are asking for the public's help. If you have any information on Carter's whereabouts leading up to his death, you are asked to contact police. But if you would rather stay anonymous, you can do so as well. You can do that by reaching out to Crime Stoppers. Tara?
Jackie, thank you. Mounties spent the day tracking a suspected arsonist in the Bowden area, and they issued a warning to people who live nearby. Police say the man tried to light a fire on a rural road near the town. They found an abandoned stolen car, but the suspect had taken off. Olds RCMP searched the area with dogs, drones, and a helicopter, but they could not track him down. Police say they don't believe the suspect is a risk to people in the area, but advise residents to secure their properties and not pick up anyone looking for a ride. A Calgary woman is sharing a scary experience with a recent Uber driver. She says the man made several sexual advances toward her and at one point deviated from her route home. He is now banned from the platform, but as Tariff reports, she wants to warn other women to be extra vigilant when using a rideshare service alone.
I haven't for quite some time now.
What should have been a safe ride home turned into a nightmare for Akaya Dos Santos. The 23-year-old was picked up from a nightclub around 2 o'clock in the morning on July 19th by an Uber driver with a 5-star review.
He was asking me, how was your night? How was the club? Oh, I've never been here before. And then he started asking me, well, you know, do you want to go with me tomorrow?
Dos Santos became uncomfortable when the man kept asking her to sit up front and making sexual advances, so she started recording.
I'm happy just chilling in the back.
In the video, the man is heard asking if she'd had sex that night. She says despite being visibly intoxicated, the man kept offering to buy her alcohol and go back to her place together, which she declined.
Do you need some drinks or?
Drinks?
Yeah.
I think I'm like up as is.
She says she tried to be friendly, brushing off his comments because she felt vulnerable as the only passenger. But when the driver began to deviate away from her route home, she got scared.
I immediately felt my heart drop to my stomach, and I was like, like, where are we going? He was like, the liquor store. And I was like, you know, I just want to go home, please.
When she finally arrived home, she reported the ride to Uber. The company banned the driver in a statement saying this behavior is unacceptable and has no place on the Uber platform, adding the man had been an Uber driver since 2024 with no prior complaints. Calgary police did investigate, but no charges were laid. However, the city of Calgary did revoke the driver's rideshare license.
Something seems strange, terminate that trip immediately, and then once that trip is complete and you're in a safe place, please reach out and we'll investigate.
Uber has several safety features, like an emergency button that shares real-time information with 911 operators. The company is also testing a feature in parts of the U.S. that allows female riders to request a female driver. But with no plans to bring it to Canada, Dos Santos wants women to be more alert when riding alone.
I just keep thinking of, well, what if I was more intoxicated that night? Very scary situation.
Tariff, CTV News, Calgary.
Now, the city encourages all rideshare users to verify their ride before getting in, including the make and the color of the car, the driver's name and the license plate. Share your route with a loved one, and if something feels off, call 311 or 911 if you're in danger. A sinkhole swallowed 2 cars in a Leuke parking lot. Those 2 cars have since been removed, but it has left a gaping hole. Marian Valdez-Carletti reports.
This sinkhole swallowed up 2 cars parked by an apartment building in Leuke Thursday night, leaving some neighbors caught off guard.
Absolute shock. I had walked by an hour before. Everything was fine. I come back out, poof.
They usually keep pretty good care of this place, so I was pretty shocked when I seen this on Facebook.
I'd have to say it's a freak of nature. It happens once in a while.
Christina Forrester was walking her dogs when she saw what happened.
They came around the corner to drive in their parking spot, and the ground just like that.
The 2 cars nearly fell all the way in before they were towed out. It's unclear what caused the sinkhole. The area around it at McEwen Greens has since been fenced up. Ken Cochran lives in the area and isn't worried his car could be next.
We have one that here, and we also keep an underground one, so our vehicle's always safe, hopefully, because it could happen over there. Who knows? It's a freak.
The city says it's not aware of any injuries that occurred. It says the infrastructure under the parking lot wasn't installed or owned by the city since it's a private development. CTV News reached out to the property managers of the building but didn't hear back. And while the hole awaits to be fixed up, Forrester thinks there could be one use for the unwelcomed hole.
It would make a great pool.
In Leduc, Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News.
A 6-story apartment building is being craned into place downtown as the Attainable Homes project enters the final stretch. Construction began in mid-April at the ATCO Calgary facility. 84 prefabricated modular homes are part of this development, which should be complete in a couple of weeks. It's expected residents will start moving in January 1st. Crews are lifting 56 boxes into place. Each contain 2 units, and then there are smaller boxes for stairwells and elevator shafts.
Appliances, wall finishes, windows, electrical, mechanical systems, everything's complete basically to about everything except for the external cladding of the building is all done and basically ready to move in, with minor finishing between now when the modules are placed to put in the external skin.
This is one of 7 nonprofit affordable housing projects that the City of Calgary has announced to combat the housing crisis.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
The Fringe Festival, Taste of Calgary, and the International Blues Festival are just a few of the events happening in our city this long weekend. Hopefully the weather cooperates so you can get outdoors and enjoy them. Tyler Barrow reports.
Starting the long weekend with some family time, the Cantons are relaxing on the river with relatives from out east.
Enjoy family time and the nature.
After a rain-filled July, the blue sky and heat are much appreciated.
We're excited to enjoy some of the weather that the city can bring to us.
While one family floats, food time might be in the works for others. The Taste of Calgary is calling people's taste buds.
We like to see different restaurants, and this gives us an opportunity to get it all on the spot.
There are over 90 restaurants, food trucks, brewers, and distillers people can gravitate to. Between 10,000 to 15,000 people are expected to attend the event each day.
Everything from Nigerian, African, Caribbean right here beside me, Korean food, all sorts of really international cuisines.
Flipping from food to the Fringe Festival kicking off Friday evening. The 9-day event brings together emerging and established artists alike to tell their stories on stage.
It's supporting the emerging indie artists, and 100% of the ticket price goes right back to the artists.
The Fringe Festival puts on a total of 20 shows in Inglewood. And for those hitting the open road, the RCMP reminds people to be extra cautious. It advises motorists to plan ahead if they are drinking and don't be a distracted driver. And since it is summer, remember pedestrians and bikers might also be out there.
And Tyler joins us from the Confluence tonight. Let's not forget the International Blues Festival. So what can you tell us about that?
Tara, a little after 5 p.m., the festival got underway here behind me. Shows go until 9:30 p.m. tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday on the outdoor stage. Now they begin at 1 p.m. Now, the festival is not just for blues lovers, as there's also R&B, folk, funk, and gospel music. Organizers are expecting 15,000 people to attend the 4-day event if weather cooperates. If you're looking for more to do over the long weekend, though, head to our website.
btvnews.ca/Calgary. Tyler, thank you. There's another popular event underway this weekend. The Big Valley Jamboree has returned.
It's really special that we do see so many different people from different generations that have been enjoying the festival for decades or for their very first time.
Organizers say Big Valley Jamboree has seen significant growth in attendance since the festival started 32 years ago. Through the course of the weekend, some of Canada's biggest names and up-and-coming artists will perform near Camrose. Headliners include Blake Shelton, Jason Aldean, and Bailey Zimmerman. The Canadian James Barker Band takes the stage on Saturday.
People are just like in it for the whole weekend. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they're going to a concert for one night and then they're going back. They're like, no, we are here to party and have a good time for 3 days straight, maybe longer. And just looking forward to that, being back and being a part of that.
Tickets for ground passes and camping are still available. Let's check in with Gina now for our first peek of the weather. So by the sounds of it, there's plenty to do this long weekend. Will we have the weather to do it all outside?
Yeah, this is that one weekend of the year that I think forecasters feel the most pressure because there is so much going on. Right now, you can probably tell with my hair, it's the wind that is just the primary hazard, for lack of a better word, but a really pleasant evening right now. And no major concerns out there for the forecast for much of tonight. We're sitting at 25 degrees right now. A lot of blue sky out there, but seeing more of the clouds start to push in. And those winds this hour are, decently strong out of the southeast for the most part. They'll start to calm down later tonight. We'll also have that low chance of a thunderstorm risk throughout the overnight hours. Pretty calm start to Saturday morning. Much of the afternoon, same thing, but we are keeping an eye on some active weather rolling in tomorrow evening. So we'll have all those details plus the rest of your long weekend forecast coming up.
Thanks, Gina. Well, if you're planning a barbecue, maybe Tabor Corn is in Calgary just in time for the long weekend. First ears are now available around town. Producers say it was a challenging growing season, but it turned into a very good harvest. You can make sure it's the real deal by checking out the vendor's certificate of authenticity. Barring any heat waves or extended rain, the Tabor Corn season should stretch into mid-September. The U.S. boosts tariffs to 35%. The Prime Minister says he will keep negotiating, but some leaders say it's time to play hardball. Plus, which businesses are bracing for a big impact and what could cost you more now going forward? And if you've got a news tip anytime, just text us at 10400. The August 1st trade deadline has now passed, and Donald Trump followed through on his threat. The United States boosting tariffs to 35% on some Canadian goods. The Prime Minister is expressing disappointment and vowing to minimize the impact and protect Canadian jobs. But as CTV's Rachel Aiello reports, the developments have riled local leaders and revived calls to retaliate.
Do you think the government should retaliate? Have you spoken to the premiers at all about these recent tariffs?
Federal ministers had little to say today when pressed on Canada's next steps.
The Prime Minister's trying to get the best deal he can for Canadians.
That wasn't the case when it came to provincial premiers.
We need to control what we can control. First and foremost, that is controlling the opportunities that we have in advancing our Canadian economies.
Or border town mayors.
Well, I think everything should be on the table. And, two can play the game.
Retaliation wasn't mentioned in the Prime Minister's post-midnight response to the escalating trade war. In a statement, Mark Carney said the federal government is disappointed by the U.S. action and will act to protect Canadian jobs. He also took aim at Trump justifying the tariffs on the basis of the cross-border flow of fentanyl, but said this country will continue to negotiate with the U.S. while working to make Canadians their own best customers. The Canadian business community slamming Trump's justifications.
We know it's false. They know it's false. This is the pretext that's being used to try to defend these tariffs in the courts.
While there's relief that exemptions under the North American Free Trade Agreement remain, stakeholders want the revenue from Canada's countermeasures to start flowing to those on the front lines of the trade war.
It's right now all bad, not at the end of the rope, but pretty close to it.
Trade experts say while the current situation is not ideal, no deal is better than a bad deal.
A good deal for Canada is not just a baseline tariff with a USMCA exemption. It really is getting to the heart of the problem for us, which is those sectoral tariffs, those industry-specific tariffs like steel, like autos.
Carney's lead minister on the file is coming back from D.C. tonight without meeting with any new Americans today. But Dominic LeBlanc's office assures us he is keeping in contact with his counterpart, U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Premier Daniel Smith issued a statement on the tariffs today saying we are pleased to see that CUSMA-compliant goods remain tariff-free. It's also disappointing to see tariffs on other Canadian goods increase to 35%. These tariffs hurt both Canadian and American businesses and workers, and they weaken one of the most important trade and security alliances in the world. From global markets to Canada's economy, the impacts of tariffs are far-reaching and also a little confusing. There are exemptions for some products, while certain sectors are getting hit harder than others. Jean-Pierre Beauchemin explains.
Touted as an escape hatch from some of the tariffs, CUSMA may shield some businesses, but how much? The deal signed in 2018 by Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. exempts a wide range of products from tariffs. Take grown and raised in Canada food products. They're covered by that free trade agreement.
If you look at some of the products that we export, those are unprocessed products, live animals, live hogs, live cattle, wheat, canola, those sorts of things. Those are pretty clearly and obviously Canadian.
And a big percentage, 86% of Canada's exports have the potential to qualify for that exemption. That's on paper, though. In practice, only nearly 40% of trade happened under CUSMA last year. Many exporters, particularly smaller businesses, have not filed the compliance paperwork.
And what I've been seeing is that more and more businesses are rushing to become CUSMA compliant, something that I have been criticizing for a long time, that in Canada we have that complacency, or shown this complacency, we have had this free trade for a long time.
And for sectors not covered under CUSMA, the trickle-down costs will also add up for consumers. Take the 50% slapped on aluminum.
Any canned drinks will increase per can between 3 and 5 cents, right? This is the net effect of cost on the producer of the canned drink. But by the time it's handed down to the tariff, it's 10, 15, 20 cents to the consumer.
Other sectors like steel, lumber, and automobiles have also taken a big hit, and the cost of things like appliances are likely to keep going up. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, has been moved. Maxwell has been transferred from a federal prison in Florida to a prison camp in Texas as her criminal case generates renewed public interest. Minimum security federal prison camps house inmates considered to be the lowest security risk. Neither the Federal Bureau of Prisons nor her lawyer discussed reasons for the transfer. Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years for her role in helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Let's bring Gina back in now as we look ahead to our 5-day forecast. Everyone waiting for the August long weekend and wanting a little bit of heat.
Yes, and you'll get some nice seasonal temperatures in there, but you'll also get the usual thunderstorm or two as well, which has become pretty typical with these August long weekends here in our province. 25 degrees currently out there, so that's above seasonal. It's usually about 24 degrees for our high for this time of year. We got up to 26 today. Partly cloudy out there. We're starting to see more of those clouds push in over the city right now. Winds picking up a little bit too, but still a very nice evening out there. So we're seeing 19 degrees in Pincher Creek, 26 if you're joining us in Lethbridge, and 29 in Milk River. Similar temperatures in the central part of the province as well. 26 in Red Deer, 27 in Edmonton. Now it's going to be that QE2 corridor this weekend that could see some pretty severe weather that I'll show you in your storm outlook in just a moment. Here's what we're dealing with right now. Quite a few things, as you can tell. We got the red heat warnings there, and to the west there's quite a few severe thunderstorm watches and warnings, but Calgary, it's pretty quiet right now. Same in the extreme south, but the radar satellite showing a bit of a different situation unfolding, where there is that potential that some areas, maybe even around Lethbridge, could see those thunderstorm watches and warnings pop up later this evening, because we have a lot of convection, but it's staying pretty close to the mountains right now, but some of it skirting over the U.S. border there and making its way into the Lethbridge area, adding that lightning layer to show a bit more of the activity that we're dealing with, so quite convective. Calgary, though, I don't think we're going to get it tonight. We do see a lot of that cloud that we're starting to see over the city push off from the foothills there where all this convection is brewing, but the storms themselves staying pretty close to those higher elevations and not tracking this way as they typically do when we see those severe weather situations. So rainfall for the next 24 hours, pretty quiet throughout tonight. Picking up tomorrow morning, we could see some widely scattered showers, but the bulk of Saturday morning and afternoon is looking pretty good out there with a mix of sun and cloud, and relatively nice temperatures as well. Later Saturday is when we start to see the higher potential for severe weather moving in. Your storm outlook, like I mentioned here, has Calgary in gray, so minor risk, but winds could still get up to 70 kilometers an hour. Localized rainfall amounts could get up to 25 millimeters, and hail could get up to 2 centimeters in diameter. We'll walk you through the future cast in our next weather hit about 20 minutes from now. That'll show in more detail when we're exactly expecting that severe weather to make its way into Calgary Saturday evening. Your regional forecast, though, showing temperatures not fluctuating too much over the next couple of days here. So that's a win, but the conditions are definitely variable from Saturday into that holiday Monday there. Lots of areas see that potential for thunderstorms and some wet weather, those cloudy conditions as well. But it could be worse. Temperatures could be a lot cooler, so we'll take that again as a positive throughout the next several days here when we look at your Action Furnace 5-day forecast, holding on to temperatures in the low 20s straight through till Wednesday.
Thank you, Gina. Dry, hot weather and lightning strikes have sparked a surge in wildfires across British Columbia. The number of active wildfires has doubled from 60 to 120 in just 24 hours. Half of the fires started after lightning storms swept across the province. A wildfire south of Lytton, BC has been measured at just over 12 square kilometers in size, and an evacuation order for Lytton First Nation remains in place. Evacuation orders also remain in place for some homes near Peachland in the Okanagan and near Cameron Lake on Vancouver Island. The Wildfire Service says heat warnings have ended for much of the province. Just ahead, staying connected no matter where you are. The new technology that allows you to reach out even when there's no cell service. And some young Calgarians are trimming their sails as they head to Newfoundland for the Canada Games. In Ottawa, a pilot is dead and 2 people have been injured after a plane crash near Ottawa International Airport. Witnesses described the moment they heard the plane go down.
I heard it because it was behind me when it happened, and as I turned around, I saw something come across the road and into the hydrolites, but I did not know it was a plane until I got closer.
Fire crews say the plane hit live power lines as it went down and then came to rest in a tree. Firefighters used a bucket ladder and specialized tools to get 2 people out of the plane. A man and a woman were taken to hospital in stable condition. The Transportation Safety Board is now investigating. One of the Dion quintuplets has passed away following a long illness. Cecile Dion was 91 years old. Born in Corbeil, Ontario in 1934, she and her sisters became world famous. They were considered to be the first quintuplets to survive infancy at a time when multiple births were quite rare. They were forced into the public eye and they later spoke out about their unhappy childhood. Cecile is survived by her sister, Annette Dion. It is the long weekend, and that means exploring the great outdoors for many Albertans. Adventurers can take advantage of a new technology available for free that helps you stay connected even in cell service dead zones. Experts in safety and tech are calling the satellite service a game changer. Here's Jeremy Thompson.
When you're out here, cell service is expected to be spotty. That's the case in many less remote parts of Canada, too, anywhere cell towers like this aren't close by. In mid-July, Rogers launched a new service to keep you connected almost anywhere.
Initially, it's somewhat limited. It's only texting.
The service is a partnership with SpaceX and Link Global, which develops what it calls cell towers in space, allowing newer cell phones to use low-orbiting satellites to send messages. iPhone users may notice a prompt to try out the built-in tech when they have poor or no service.
You still have to have carriers in the country where you live providing service that takes advantage of that hardware capability. That's what this Rogers satellite announcement is.
People who explore the outdoors may already use dedicated satellite devices to send messages from remote areas.
So I'm in like Grand Cache, so it'll show you whereabouts I was.
No kidding.
Yeah, so
in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. So this was me during an ultra marathon.
Devices like these can cost hundreds of dollars, plus a monthly subscription. Rogers is offering the satellite cell service to people on any network for free until the trial period ends in October.
I'm going out to the mountains again for 2 weeks, so I'm probably going to get that before I go.
The one advantage of the cell phone is it kind of enables everybody to have that with them on a device they carry every day.
This search and rescue expert believes the tech will save lives, but it's not bulletproof.
It is not the safety plan. It's an element of your safety plan.
It's a Rogers exclusive for now, but one tech expert believes other cellular providers aren't far behind.
It's only a matter of time before you can walk into any store, any carrier, on any phone, and you can add this onto your plan. And I think that makes a lot of sense for Canadians who travel.
Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Members of Calgary's Ukrainian community are rallying on Stephen Avenue tonight, calling it a day of mourning. It comes after a Russian drone and missile attack killed more than 30 people in Kyiv, including at least 5 children. It was the highest number of children killed and injured in a single attack on Kyiv since aerial attacks on the city began in October 2022. That's according to official casualty figures reported by the Associated Press. Russia has escalated its attacks on Ukrainian cities in recent months, ignoring calls from Western leaders to stop striking civilian areas. A fundraiser in honor of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau has been a huge success. Hundreds of thousands raised to help kids with accessibility issues play just like every other child. Canada's best NHL players will be in Calgary later this month to prepare for the 2026 Olympics. 42 players, including all 24 from Canada's Four Nations Face-Off Championship winning team earlier this year, have been invited to the national team's orientation camp. Another one of those invited, Flames D-man Mackenzie Weegar. Players from the women's and para-hockey teams are also part of the 3-day camp. It runs August 26th to 28th. Don't expect any on-ice action, though. Players are getting walkthrough presentations and team meetings. The 2026 Winter Olympics take place in Italy in February. A fundraising run in memory of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau has raised more than $500,000. Over 2,200 people participated, virtually or in person, in the 5K run, which took place in New Jersey in May. It's been nearly a year since the Gaudreau brothers were killed by an alleged drunk driver. The money is going toward an accessible playground. It will be built at the special education school where Johnny's mother, Jane, has worked for over 40 years. Some of the best young sailors in our city are taking a cross-country trip next week for the Canada Games. That includes 5 members of the Calgary Yacht Club. The sailors, some as young as 14, will be showing their skills in a series of races in Newfoundland. The team has been practicing in larger lakes to handle the stronger waves that they'll face in the open water. And although they are facing stronger competition in BC and Ontario, they say they're embracing the underdog mentality.
I want to just sail as fast as possible, see how I place between other people, and just generally just sail to have fun is my main goal.
It's fun to represent Alberta, and it will be really cool to have competition outside of our province. We've done some other regattas outside, but this is going to be the biggest one yet.
The teams will make their way to Newfoundland next week. The sailing competition runs August 11th to 16th. Good luck to them. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's Friday before a long weekend, so we're going to kick trending off with some good old rock and roll.
Hi, my friend. Hi, friend. He loved and said, let's play till the end. Let's go.
How cute is she, little mini Joan Jett? She'd be very proud to see this. This is 4-year-old Angelica Nero belting out an oldie but a goodie. I think she made a small twist on the lyrics, but, you know, she's singing it for a new generation.
Exactly.
So it has to resonate with her people.
For sure. I think it's a hit.
Yeah.
You know, number 1 on Spotify.
She is good. Well, if you're not a fan of vegetables, many aren't, you are not alone. That's an actual look. His face says it all. He didn't even take a bite of that lettuce and then was like, I was expecting steak. I did not want salad. I don't want it. Ew.
Yeah. Hey, it's good for you.
Exactly.
That's what they tell us.
Good for you. His mom would have told him that. It's good for you.
Knocks it out of the way.
No thanks. I think everybody loves a slide. Kids, adults, apparently even pets. Just watch this guy. This is heaven. He climbs the stairs of this big inflatable slide and then down he goes.
Yeah. Nice nap later, I bet.
He could probably do that for about an hour. You'd never have to take him for a walk.
Hey,
you could probably slide with him.
I'm looking at those stairs, and I think I've now hit the age where I'm like, nah, not into it.
You need a little inflatable escalator to take you up there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very cute. Enbridge is seeing strong demand for pipeline capacity. The Calgary-based company's earnings are out. We have those details coming up in our business report.
Welcome back. A little bit of cloud moving in through our Skywatch weather camera here, but a very lovely evening to kick off our August long weekend. But if you thought there was going to be a lot of change between the rainy July to a nice warm sunny August, the start of this new month not quite looking that way. When we take a look at our temperature today, though, we did get to a nice high of 26 degrees, sitting at 25 currently, and the normal is 24. So on the higher end of that seasonal range, start to go to below seasonal, not by much, but just down into the low 20s as we progress throughout the long weekend here. We should start to see a lot of these heat warnings lift as we get into tomorrow, and it's a bit of an active setup right now along the mountain. So just keeping an eye on the radar satellite once again for you. A lot of lightning associated with these isolated thunderstorm cells. Lethbridge could see a bit of activity later this evening. Zooming in on Calgary here, we're getting the cloud from that convection, but a lot of that precipitation is just staying at those higher elevations there. That futurecast, the model's really not thinking that we're going to get much active weather tonight, but I am factoring a low risk for thunderstorms. Tomorrow, maybe some scattered showers in the morning, but some nice clear patches throughout the afternoon. You can start to see that unstable weather start to build up again along the mountains there tomorrow evening. Tracks into Calgary right around 8, 9 o'clock. So there's our most significant cell cell I'm seeing from the models here impacting the southern quadrants for the most part. Could see strong winds associated with that system, localized rain, and maybe hail in about 2 centimeters diameter. As we get into Sunday, you see it starts to build those clouds, and we get those more gloomy conditions for Sunday and Monday there. Temperatures, though, holding steady. That 10-day trend really showing that the next stretch here is in the low 20s with that blip of 17 degrees on Friday. And of course, your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
Thank you, Gina. A 16-year-old boy was found dead in Abbeydale early this morning. Police say the death is a homicide. Investigators say the victim is Carter Spivak Villeneuve of Calgary. No arrests have been made. Mounties searched an area near Bowden today. They say a man attempted to light a fire. Officers found a stolen car, but the suspect got away. And foodies are sampling local dishes and drinks at Taste of Calgary tonight. It's one of many events open to families this Heritage Day long weekend. To breaking news now, the Canada Post Union has rejected the company's latest contract offer. The offer was rejected with 68.5% of ballots cast, according to the Industrial Relations Board. It comes after more than a year and a half of talks with the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, which represents more than 50,000 postal service workers. Alberta's regulations for cleaning up old coal mines are failing to keep pollutants out of water ecosystems. That's according to a new study by the province's own scientists. The peer-reviewed study looks at contamination levels in water near 3 inactive coal mines east of Jasper National Park. Researchers found high levels of selenium and other pollutants downstream. One of the authors, a former government scientist in charge of environmental monitoring, says the paper speaks to what he calls regulatory inaction by the province. The province is considering getting rid of marked fuel, also known as purple gas, and replacing it with a different discount. Alberta farmers, oil and gas, and forestry workers can get certificates to use the cheaper fuel, which is dyed purple, so officials can track it. Some retailers have suggested giving the 4-cent tax exemption on clear fuel instead. The province is asking for feedback until the end of August. The North American markets dropped today as investors reacted to the new tariffs out of Washington. But there was good news from earnings reports. Here's BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez.
A few big Canadian companies have reported their earnings this week, including Enbridge. Enbridge operates pipelines. It pulled in about $2.2 billion in its last quarter, more than $30 million more than it made in the same quarter last year. And the company CEO says he's optimistic about Ottawa wanting to advance energy projects. Here's how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar is up today to $72.50. West Texas Intermediate dropped almost $2 to $67.33. Our fix on Western Canadian Select has it down to 56.25, and the TSX dropped 239 points, ending the day just above 27,000. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
A Calgarian has returned home after an ambitious journey raising money for veterans. Last month, we told you about veteran Jeff Lowe preparing to take part in a bike ride with his wife, Roseanne. They'd called it Rag Bri to raise awareness for funds for the Veterans Association. After 7 days and more than 500 kilometers across Iowa, he crossed the finish line and raised a few $100s, including a donation from the American Legion. Lowe says he's planning on going back again next year, and he's hoping to inspire more veterans across the province and across the country to join him.
The more people I can get to join us, the better it is for us, because then we can relate to each other, we can talk to each other. And it doesn't have to be other veterans, it's the wolves that want to sit and listen to our stories and to be heard.
Although this year's ride is over, Lowe is encouraging people to still provide support to the Veterans Association. These are the dog days of summer, but owners of some prize pooches have their game faces on. We'll check out the Summer Classic Dog Show next. It's finally dropped. We told you a few days ago, pop star Chappell Roan was ready to release a hit new single, creating quite a buzz in one Canadian province. The song is called The Subway, and it's about getting over her ex. The lyrics are, if in 4 months this feeling ain't gone, I'm moving to Saskatchewan. Roan first performed the single at a music festival a year ago, and that's when fans first noticed the mention of the Canadian province. Today is Spider-Man Day. Since it was on August 1st, 1962, the iconic character made his debut. To celebrate, Marvel is teasing something brand new. The studio released the briefest of teasers for the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day. The 8-second clip shows the new Spidey suit that actor Tom Holland will wear in the movie. This will be his 4th time playing the role and the 9th live-action Spider-Man of the franchise. It's set to swing into theaters next summer on July 31st, 2026. Every dog owner thinks they've got the best pooch, but a select few are trying to prove it this weekend in Okotoks. That's where the Alberta Kennel Club's Summer Classic Dog Show is happening, pitting canines against each other in agility, obedience, and appearance. Tim Brooke has more from the show.
This is Laser, and this is one of his favorite days of the year.
Senior puppy male, 381.
Laser is one pooch in a crowded field at this weekend's Alberta Kennel Club's Summer Classic Dog Show.
We all believe our dogs are the best, so of course he is.
Laser is a good boy, but he'll have some stiff competition. There's Razzo in agility.
He's beautiful, he's full of life. I absolutely love this dog.
And Cash in obedience as soon as he gets up.
3 baths and blow dry and a lot of combing and just a little bit of scissoring to take some of the odd pairs of them.
There's also competitors in scent detection and, of course,
to win a best in show is like winning the Olympics.
The main event will see just about every breed imaginable go nose to nose.
We have about 700 to 800 dogs entered there each day.
And about 1,200 spectators for the show's first public competition at the Okotoks Agricultural Society.
People just love dogs.
It's just exciting. I love it when I see the tents up and all the people, all the dogs. We get to see different breeds we don't normally see. It's just so much fun.
And believe it or not, for those hardened competitors, the dogs aren't the main draw.
Favorite part, it's the interaction with the exhibitors. You know, we share tips and tricks, and it's just a vacation, mini vacation too.
All the camaraderie that we have here, and it's just like fun.
The dog show runs literally until Monday evening. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Okotoks.
So admission for the dog show is available at the gate. For more information, you can go to our website, ctvnews.ca/Calgary. We got to go, Gina. We got to get out of here and get to that dog show.
I'd be such a bad judge. I'd be like, I like that one. I like that one.
Them all. Everybody gets a winning ribbon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'd be a good Saturday to go check it out. We do have some pretty mild conditions throughout much of the afternoon for tomorrow. Then it starts to turn a bit more as we get into Sunday and the holiday Monday there. Great shot here taken by Michael near Bray Creek for your weather window, brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate, showing that convection that really can burst off of the mountaintops there and start to drift into the foothills. We're seeing a bit of that right now. If you looked over to the mountains, you might see those puffy clouds, but we're not expecting a lot of it to move into the city. Not for tonight, at least, though Saturday could be a bit of a different story. I mentioned that the afternoon should be fine, but it's more later in the evening, right between about 7 to 10 o'clock, that we could see more active weather roll into the Calgary area, especially those southern quadrants, and then cloudy on Sunday and Monday there. Scattered showers and that additional thunderstorm risk, Tara.
Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific long weekend. For breaking news anytime, go to our website.